history, the U.S. is just now starting into cyber warfare and getting involved in it, and they've had some instances with it before, but the Chinese have been doing it for a lot longer. And that's the reason why their organization skills are where they're at now, is because they started back in '97 with the formation of the Green Army, founded by Goodwell. 1998 was the anti-Chinese riots in Indonesia. That provided the catalyst. What happened was Chinese nationals were being attacked for their nationality, and so that formed the Red Hacker Alliance. 2000, the Honker Union of China was founded by Lion. China Eagle, whose Round Tao was founded China Eagle. Java File is still around also. It was founded by Kulswell and Bulong. A lot of people remember 2001 for a specific date. Well, there was another date in 2001, April of 2001. U.S. Navy plane collided with a Chinese jet fighter off the coast of China. The Chinese fighter pilot died. The Navy personnel were guests of the Chinese government for a couple of weeks. That started a spate of attacks from American hackers attacking the Chinese websites demanding the release. Well, that also formed the Red Hacker Alliance to create a 1,000-page website defacement on the U.S. to sort of tell them to back off. So that's when we started understanding exactly what the Chinese were doing. There's been other ones with the was it Georgia? No, it was I'm trying to figure out where it was. It's like, yes, it's like with the embassy in Yugoslavia. It's also caused a problem with the Chinese hackers. But the main one was 2001 when they started doing the web defacement. That started getting the involvement of the press and started getting more attention. Now, they've been having a problem since then. And the one impediment to their hacking ability and to their ability to actually carry out these attacks was very simple: English. The commands, the tools, the instructions are all in English, and they were not familiar with it, or they were not able to actually get the right commands to translate them properly to launch these attacks. Well, that stopped in 2005. The UK government discovered that with the Great Pigeon Trojan in their mail system. The Chinese that was one of the first Chinese-made Trojans, and they perfected it and have done better at translating other programs into original Chinese. So actually, even more people now can use these tools and launch these attacks. Because we have to understand that a lot of these tools are getting more automated. I tell people not every hacker in China is an uber elite, able to do shell code from the get-go. Some of these hackers are just ones that just go down. They're just like our equivalent of script kiddies that just get and run a program or know how to click a button and just try to muddle through. But the thing is, it's the numbers. If I get shot with a BB gun or a little pellet gun, it's going to sting. I'm going to get upset, and I'm going to get mad. You shoot me with 1 million of those at one time, okay, I'm gone. It's like, so we have to understand, it's not just how effective the tool is, it's the sheer volume that we're dealing with here. And when you've got 1 million, or one statistic say 1.2 million hackers in China that are doing these kind of attacks, then the odds are against you. Another thing that I always find interesting, especially when I'm giving this talk in another country, is where I go to the point where I say, I'm a patriot. I love my country. It's like, and saying you're a patriot from America in another country, it's a little awkward sometimes. But it's a fact. But if that's a fact, and if that's okay, then why can't we just also acknowledge the fact that Chinese are patriots? That the Chinese, a lot of the Chinese hackers, are patriots to their country. They were born in a society where as soon as they're ready to start being educated, they're taught about their history. They have a civilization that goes back thousands of years. They're taught to be acknowledge the fact that they are descendants of emperors and of kingdoms. And now, with the last 60 years, they're part of the Communist Party. They're part of the collective. It's a very collective mindset. So when they feel like people from the West, well-meaning or not, start talking about the Chinese and start talking about what's being done wrong, they don't separate the government from themselves. So when you attack the Chinese policies or the human rights violations, you're attacking China. You're attacking themselves personally. And that's how they take that. They will attack their government. They will protest their government. One of the biggest ones recently was the milk deaths that caused the infant formula that poisoned a lot of infants in China. The company's website was defaced. There was demands for the manager's execution, which actually I did think was carried out. It's like, so I mean, they'd actually went out and went after them for that. So they will attack within themselves, but as long as it's not the West driving it. It's like they have to have that anonymity. They have to have that solidarity that it's them doing it, not being told from someone else. One of the things the West has been very good at exporting, capitalism and movies. So that's taken effect. The Chinese have gotten very good at realizing they can get paid for this. They can get money. And one of the best examples was 2008. A company in India lost a major contract. They were underbid just enough by a Chinese company. It wasn't until 2 months later that they realized that there was Trojans on the India systems showing the Chinese company exactly what they needed to bid to win the contract. So corporate espionage at its finest, and trust me, there's certain countries attending and stuff that can't really talk too much about corporate espionage backed by the government. That's something that we all do around the world. We involve our government with corporate espionage. But they do that well, and they do it a lot. Let's get into this part. I have to drink a little drink right here. I'm allergic to polonium, so I'm making sure I'm drinking Pepsi, not tea. I always get a little nervous when I'm talking about the Russians. But I have to tell you, they're honest. That's one of the things I like about the Russians the most, is that they're like totally upfront. Yes, we have cyber warfare. It's the 5th division of the cyber army. Their military budget's $40 billion USD for the military. Their global rating of cyber capabilities is tied at number 4. But what gets me is they say their cyber warfare budget's $127 million for offensive capabilities. $127 million. If anybody in here worked for the government, and I'm sure some people do, since it's a cyber warfare talk, we all know that's like, at least when you round it up to the actual off books, it's about $2 billion. It's like there's a difference between what's on the books and what's off the books. So they've got a lot of money to throw at cyber warfare. Some of the toys they get to play with are really nice and scary. Large advanced botnets for DDoSs and espionage. I wonder if they've used that recently. Electromagnetic pulse weapons, non-nuclear, thank goodness. They also do wireless data communication capabilities for jamming, because once again, it's about exchanging information. It's getting the information out there or keeping it from getting out there. Also, their cyber force size is 7,300. Once again, it's on books, so let's round up to 10,000. They're pretty well equipped. They're good at what they're doing, and they're learning from it. But one of the key things is, if I've got, say I'm a country, just any country that's got like over, a $2 billion budget for cyber warfare, and I want to go and try to attack with some really cool tools that I have, how do I go about that? How do I try to attack a target that may be too big for me to attack right now? And also, I'd be more interested in attacking like 5 to 10 years from now. But no one that would notice. A country that would go and say do all their voting online, who would do all their business online, who would be connected to the internet, who would have a lot of high-tech, high-speed capabilities. But then also, I would have to get a country and stuff, that would be like sort of small that people wouldn't really take offense to too much. But that's the way I'd want to do it. Well, let's talk. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, the U.S. is not there yet, but Estonia is really good at being with their cyber capabilities. They do all their voting online. They do all their business and electronic communications online. They're very well connected. The leader of their country has said that the internet is a basic human right. Some say they're where the United States is going to be 5 to 10 years from now. And I'm sure that's coincidence, though, so we'll keep going. And also one of the things is, like, you can't have a cyber warfare talk without mentioning Estonia at least once. So here's my mention of Estonia. But it was also one of the things that we have to understand is, yes, there was a statute that was moved. That caused a catalyst, but it also caused an opportunity to start using some tools maybe. Start trying to see exactly what we can get out of the chest and how effective it can be. And I think that was one of the things that we learned, and that's also when the press started realizing, cyber warfare is a good